Hello YouTube. This is sort of I wouldn't really call it a review considering it doesn't really work anymore, but this is sort of a rundown, if you will, on the 101 Hero. Now I purchased this printer um, for the non-Kickstarter price, so I paid about $99 or maybe it was a little bit more than that with shipping and stuff for this developer version here of the 101 Hero. It has very basic parts, I guess, if you will. Um, the hot end is the similar hot end to that of a 3D printing pen. The control box here, it's just but it's a single button basically, and a switch, and this an SD card reader, and it has an USB attachment option, I guess, for if you want to hook it up to your own slicer program. Now the problem with this is it doesn't work anymore, and I got about one print, or maybe a 1 1/4 print, if you will, out of this printer before it stopped working. The first print I got right here, this little chess piece, and if you look closely, it's not the worst, but it definitely was performing pretty bad compared to most 3D printers. There's a lot of layer shifting. It's uneven. It's got stringing issues, etc. But with that being said, for $100, I thought it printed better than I expected, so I was pretty satisfied with that print. So the next morning I got up to try and print again, and as soon as I went to go print, everything seemed to be going well. I was printing out a Minecraft gas just to kind of see how well it handled boxes and stuff, and as you can see, this is about as far as the print got. It seemed to have stopped here on the edge, stopped filling in. And yeah, it was a pretty horrible experience trying to see if I could get this thing unclogged. Now, spoiler alert, I could not get it unclogged. No matter what I did, I could not get this thing to work. I've went onto all sorts of forums. I went through the internet trying to find different resources, and I just could not get this thing unclogged. I messed with the gears, I messed with all the issues that seem to be pretty consistent with other people and their experiences with this printer. However, my experience, I could not get this thing to work again. It is just so clogged in the hot end that it won't print anymore. The printer itself moves and everything, but the hot end is completely useless. I believe this was advertised as a $49 3D printer on its Kickstarter, but I can guarantee you that the price I paid for it, which is $99, was definitely not worth it. I would never recommend this printer to anybody, and I would never buy it again. It's unfortunate because it seemed to have promise, being a cheap printer, but just the level of craftsmanship and quality put into the most important parts, being the hot end, and the stepper motor here on the side is just horrible. This motor is just terrible for feeding filament. All of it is just a terrible design and poor construction. So unfortunately, I could not get this printer to work again after my first print. So this is probably the most expensive, low quality 3D print I have ever gotten. At least I have a souvenir to sort of remember the struggles that I went through. But to be honest, don't buy this printer, and don't make the same mistakes that I did. However, I did get bit by the 3D printing bug because of this machine, and I guess the benefits were I have figured out how to troubleshoot a lot of problems with this printer. So I guess if there's anything I took away from it, it was a good learning experience, but it's a really expensive learning experience. Um, for double the price, for about $100 more, I was able to get the Monoprice Mini Select, or Select Mini, or whatever it is. And from what I've read, those reviews say that it is a much, much better printer. So, if I were to take away anything, I would say save up your money. Don't buy this printer. Um, at the time, for what it was, it may have been worth the money, but now I can definitely say without a doubt that it is not worth it compared to other things they have out on the market. So I'll be doing a review with the Monoprice Select Mini pretty soon, just to kind of show you guys what I go through when I finally get it. Should be in the mail and on its way by the end of the week. I'm a 3D modeler, so I use a lot of this kind of stuff for printing more organic models. I'm going to do a fair bit of testing with like hard surface modeling, such as anything that has hard edges, squares, whatever, like stuff like that. But I will also be doing a lot of organic shapes, so we'll see how the Monoprice Select Mini holds up compared to this machine. But I would definitely never recommend this printer to anybody. Please do not buy this printer and save your money, because it lasted me a total of 24 hours before breaking. So, not to mention, the 101 Hero customer service is horrible. Everything I've heard is horror stories from its customers, and they really don't care. They really don't care about their customers at all. So, with that being said, I hope you haven't made the same mistake that I have, and yeah, I hope I hope this was helpful to some of you guys, and hopefully we'll have better results with the Monoprice Select Mini. Thank you guys so much for watching, and catch you in the next video.